What's happening, people? Welcome to United Stand Real Talk Flex and Rants show. We saying Rants?
Same old, you know me, blood. I don't change my tune, fam. Man,
No, you
don't
do not.
flip-flop out here, fam.
No, you do not. First of all, as you can see, I'm in the leopard print / bumblebee / dead cat / like it.
/ publicity stunt / money-making scheme. That's what their man are on, bruv. That's all they're on, fam.
I did say to Mark, if he got it for me for my birthday, I would wear it in the next video, and it came in the post, so I am being true to my word. First question is, drop your views in the comments and the boxes below. Do I look like an idiot in this, or do I pull it off? Be honest. But let's jump straight into it. We've got a lot to talk about, a lot. Let's start with the two games that have happened in that time. Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal. What did you think of that performance and the result?
The score was very flattering, innit? I mean, it flattered to deceive. Like, it looks like it was a close game. Looks like it was an evenly contested game, but the reality was it wasn't, innit? Like, David De Gea kept us in that game. Like, we should have lost that game, really. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad we didn't, but we should have. And, yeah, it's just not a true reflection of where we're at present, bruv. That game isn't really, it was poor.
There was a load of mistakes in that game as well.
Yeah.
The thing that really pissed me off was the fact that, like I said, we had the chance to maybe make something positive happen, get a positive result, but the mistakes were just too bad. But even after that, we didn't make Leno work. Our goals we got were lucky as well, and we didn't make Leno work once. So some people were saying to me that I was very lenient with DT, and I was just watching the game, and what he was saying was facts. Like, they felt like they 2 points dropped. I felt like they dropped 2 points. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, what I did like was there was a bit of passion. There was a bit of passion. But I don't want to keep rewarding that too much, because that's just you just running around. Like, you need quality.
You've been in the stadium, bruv. Like, when fans are making a noise and they're up for it, like, because it's Arsenal, the fans are going to be up for it more than they are for other games. So naturally, the players are going to respond to that. They ain't got nothing to do with individuals saying, oh yeah, it's passion. Bruv, like, the energy, like, transfers into the players when you're screaming like that in an Arsenal game. Do you know what I mean? If we were playing against, like, another team, if they put it in place, wouldn't have been rocking like
Which
that.
how it hasn't been.
And it hasn't been. So, like, I'm not rewarding players for that shit. Like, the lack of quality, of our football is evident. Like, what are we? When I watched that game, I was like, are we attacking team? Nope. Are we a defensive team? Nope. Are we a possession team? Nope. Are we a pressing team? Nope. Are we a counter-attacking team? Nope. What the fuck are we, blood? 3 years in, we still don't know what we are, blood, because Jose is a fraud, bruv. What's he done? Really? Like, he hasn't even... In 3 years, you expect man to even put down a base template as to what you want this team to be, blood.
A beginning block, a building block to
There's
go. We're gonna go this way.
template, bruv. Man changes the formations every 5 minutes. He changes the back four every 5 minutes. He changes the lineup every 5 minutes. We don't know who's playing where, when, ever. And it's taken man 3 years to not know what the fuck he's doing, bruv. And you man still have faith in this guy. You're delusional, fam.
The next game after that was Fulham. We beat them 4-1 very comfortably.
But everyone beats Fulham. You know them, man. Them man have conceded 40 goals, and people getting gassed online. You see these match by match football fans, they piss me off, blood. Do you know what I mean? They'll be screaming 1 week. You know what I mean? Then we get a good result, then all of a sudden, like, we've turned the corner and everything's great, blood. You always have to look at the bigger picture. Who the hell did we beat, blood?
Exactly, and I think you look at the goals we scored against Fulham, they showed why they're such a poor team. Like, I watched the highlights back, you know, once you've seen it, the thing, and then you go back home and you watch it again. The defence was non-existent. And to be fair, there was a lot of fans, though, even in like my match reaction comments, that people were still saying, yeah, you know, because you can't get carried away. Fulham are shit. And they are. So it doesn't really measure anything. That brings us forward to, because we've got a lot of issues to talk about. We're just talking about the games coming up and the game's just gone before we'll get that out of the way and we'll carry on. Because then that brings us into the Valencia game, which there's not really, obviously apart from topping the group, there's not really much in it. So obviously Pogba's going to play, Herrera might play, some of the forgotten men. But then it leads us on to the big one, the Liverpool game. Before we talk about it, can you see us getting a result out of that game?
Yeah, I can see us getting a result. I can't see us winning, but I can see us getting a result. I can see us stinking the place out and getting a draw. I can. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think that's like 3 times too many to ask for that 3 times in a row? Or you still generally, we can actually go and get a 0-0 draw or something like that, or 1-1.
Dink it out, bruv, and get a 1-1 or something. I think we can do that. I don't see why
How
not.
should we approach that game? Should we? Because there was a fan who said we should go toe to toe with them. We should just go for them, go for the throat. There was another fan saying, nah, bruv. Nah. It was Tunde, actually. He was like, listen, we're Man United, bruv. Look how we're playing now. We'll get smoked if we go toe-to-toe. Should we sit back? Should we try and stink the place out? Would you be happy with a draw? What do you say?
Certain teams you can excuse a more defensive approach. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool at Anfield is one of those games.
Yeah.
I will never criticise the manager, for not going gung-ho, against Liverpool at Anfield. Man City seeing what happens when you do that and all these teams. You don't do it. However, with that same energy, like, I don't want to go there and just fucking park the bus and stick the place out. It's disgusting.
This is still like the biggest game on our calendar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Go there and play counter-attacking football, yes. Play on the back foot, yes. But to not go for it, you know what I mean? Which is what I've seen us do a few times when we went to the empty had blood. We didn't go for it. We went there and got bopped off the park.
And that's the problem. That's the clear difference. I keep saying the difference between parking the bus and counter-attacking football is, like saying parking the bus is having no intent to win the game. When you get the ball, having no attempt to go forward. All day long. And counter-attacking is completely different. I want to see that. Because we can't go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. We can't just all of a sudden come up with a way of football that's like pressing front foot. The players aren't drilled for that. We see that because they only press in moments of their game. Like against Arsenal when it was a big game, their passion and their drive makes them press. Do you know what I'm saying? Marcus Rashford's tenacity as a person, as a player, makes him press. Not because he's been told to do it. And you can see that within the team because we don't do it in waves, we do it in isolated moments. Just after we scored against, when we got the equaliser against Arsenal, we were pressing again straight after.
Exactly. Players start running
it's
around.
Reactionary, that's what I'm saying. It's not hereditary. Yeah, exactly. It's not in there. And that's the problem with that. Okay, let's talk about some things. Let us know what you guys think about that as well in terms of the pressing thing and how we should approach this Liverpool game as well. Talking points now. George Mendes said his client, Jose Mourinho, is happy at Manchester United. He went on to say that the club are happy with him and he's fully committed to building a winning unit at Manchester United. Thoughts on that statement?
It's bullshit, innit, really? Do you know what I mean? He hasn't built nothing.
You've read my tweet.
He hasn't built anything in 3 years. So why would you give him more? Like right now, when you look at all the players he's bought, how many of them get into his starting 11 on a weekly basis? He ain't built shit. Do you know what I mean? Saying the board are happy with him, if that's true, which I doubt, then they're even worse than I thought. Do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing to be happy about. Like, this is our worst start in over 30 years. What is there to be happy about? Do you know what I'm saying? And him being happy at the club, again, that's bullshit. Because from what I've known, he's basically told them that he's happy to work if they want to pay him his 20 million, bro.
Exactly. Like, he laughed that it was too expensive. He knows what he's doing.
He came out in the press and said, like, it will cost them a lot of money to get rid of me. He didn't say I was happy here, bro. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't committed to this club from day one. The guy's still living in a hotel. Don't ever get twisted, innit? Like, this guy would take the money and walk tomorrow, bruv. And I would happily pay him off, bruv.
100%.
He's a virus, blood. He's the cancer, blood, at the club.
I think that them Mendes comments is just a typical agent looking after his best interests of his client, which is his job, which is basically saying, sack me and give me my 20 million or leave me alone. And the bit about the club saying that they're happy with him, obviously the club cannot be, we're never surprised these days, but surely the club cannot be happy with finishing 6th, 7th, 8th, no Champions League football. But the fact that they haven't, I think what Mendes means that is the club hasn't come and said, we're unhappy with you and we're going to sack you. So he's reading into that as we're happy with you.
No, but I don't think he is. I think he's just saying that because it just puts them on the front foot. Do you know what I mean? Saying, well, the club must be happy with us because they haven't told us anything.
Exactly.
But then why would they? They're out there trying to find you a replacement. But that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't see him at the club past this season. So I'm just riding it out right now, fam.
Toby Alderweireld, next thing we're going to talk about. There is talks that Mourinho has sat down with the agent, that the deal could happen in January.
Watch Toby sign a new deal at Tottenham. Watch it happen.
Levy trying to get some more money out of us.
Trust me, you'll sign a new deal at Tottenham before Jan, and then we'll have to pay more money.
Do you think
there'll be a clause in the contract that says it's 75 million or something? You watch, because they're saying, we can get it for 40 M's. Levy ain't a dickhead. Levy will say, sign this new 1 year extension, I'll put a buyout clause in there, and then man come back. You are not shaking Levy down, blood.
He's one shrewd businessman.
He's a bad boy.
Would you take him now, though? Do you think the boat sailed on Alderweireld? Because he's not getting in at Tottenham. He's been in and out. He's still obviously not first choice there. But would you take him? No.
Toby's quality, but for me, it's like, right, it depends on how much he costs. If you're going to spend big money, you're better off getting a younger player. I don't think we need, they're saying, oh, we need experience and that. I don't even think we need experience.
I think we just need someone fit for the bill.
How experienced is Van Dijk, bro? Like, he's only 26. Do you know what I mean? It's not about experience. You need quality, innit? That's what we need. So, like, I would definitely want Toby still. I think he's a quality player, but at the same time, like, we're going to have to break the bank for him, I'm not too sure, man, because I still think this whole need for a centre-back is blown massively out of proportion by Jose just because he's dying, bruv. If we were doing well, he wouldn't be talking about the centre-back.
Well, our goal difference is terrible and we struggle to score goals. I know we are leaking goals because we've nearly conceded all than what we have in the last season. I get that, but I'm not buying the fact that Jose is saying if we sign a centre-half, all of a sudden our problems are done. Yeah, our balance is right. Our attacking players will play right.
Half that you sign gets injured, then what? Then we're back to square one. You're a twat, bro. I'm not buying that. Do you know what I mean? What, you buy one centre-back? You know what I mean? Like, he can't get injured.
Yeah, he's trying to blame that. Basically, he's trying to blame this shitness, how we're playing, the fact that we didn't get Harry Maguire. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, no, what really happened, is the guy that does all your tactics for you, your number 2 has left you, bruv, and now your bum's out, blood. A man can see what you're really on. Nothing, blood. That's what it is. Rui Faria, 15 years by your side. All of a sudden, he goes and takes the back 4 with him. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what really happened. You know what I mean? A centre-back ain't going to solve that.
It's true, and that's what I think. I think it's very interesting. You know, January is approaching, and you're starting to look at it like, well, I'm certainly looking at it like, please don't give this guy money. Please don't give this guy money.
Well, I want them to give him money, but as a compensation package, bro. That's you know what I mean? Not to buy players. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just give him the 20 million, bro. It'd be the best money.
But if it is gonna be, because do you know what? The only way, like I said, I would let him spend some money is if it's a player that's like, Jose can't fuck up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a Koulibaly, if we got him for 60, 70 M's, 80 M's. It has to be
a player that's going to benefit the next manager, innit? You can't let him sign anyone. But then again, depends on what style of football the next manager wants to play, bruv. Because we're always undoing other managers' work. Do you know what I mean? So we can't do that. We can't allow him to sign anyone else. And then say the new manager comes in and doesn't fancy them.
So just don't. So you think the safest bet then is that actually
safest bet is not to spend no money, blood. And January signings don't typically do well. I wouldn't give him any more money, bruv. I think he's wasted enough, bruv. I think the guy's a fraud.
Moving on, Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, bruv.
Seems like a
bad boy.
Seems like a bright spark. Like, we've seen him play a few times, and even from the glimpses, all United fans. I don't know one United fan that was saying nah. All United fans I spoke to anyway were saying, we just need to give this kid some time. He didn't get it for a long time after, but he played 2 back-to-back games against Arsenal and Fulham. Fulham especially. Arsenal looked a bit leggy, which is understandable. Big game, frantic pace. He still did all right.
He's playing against a better team. And that's why when people are getting gassed about the Fulham performance, it was Fulham, innit? Dalot's a baller, don't get me wrong.
The crosses he was putting in the box, you can only do it.
He's mad. Do you know what I'm saying?
If Lukaku had better movement and better timing,
or just some movement would be good. But Dalot,
his cross is good, isn't it? Does he look like some?
He's a winger. You could tell that he was a winger, and he's probably been moved to right back fairly late. Same thing happened with Kyle Walker and that. He's very much a winger. He picks up the ball, even if it's a 2-on-1. He'll run at both players. Like, he's not afraid. Like, he goes at players like a winger. Like, he's definitely a winger. So I'm a fan of his.
He looks good, innit? He looks good. It just
better than Shaw, really.
It just looks like, where have you been? Yeah. And even when you have, since you've been here, where have you been? Like,
because Jose's a coward. Like, because the thing is, he did have a little injury and that, but then he's been fit, then he ain't been playing, bruv. He's supposed to get straight in the team at right back. Know what I mean? Instead of playing Ashley Young there, play the kid, man.
It's all he's got to get a run now. We've got Valencia next. I think he should play that game.
I don't think he'll start.
Do you not?
He's started 2 games in a row, blood. He's going to rest him.
But do you think you're not going to start against them? Because against Liverpool, he probably won't start because he will go back to someone like Ash Young and then Luke Shaw will be back.
I don't think he'll start the next 2 games. I don't.
Or you just think you'll not be involved in either?
Yeah, bro. I just think Jose's not consistent, bro. When has he consistently started the same back 4? Like, I don't think he's ever done it, bro. So we can't expect consistency from him. Like, that's one thing we can guarantee with Jose.
Expect unpredictability, innit?
Like, expect fucking McTominay to come in, or expect Fellaini to come in. Don't expect any settled team because we've not had one in 3 years. So we can't expect that from him. And we talk about the forms of players, How can players get into any sort of rhythm, when they're playing with different man every week? Like, how?
Yeah, you just can't. You can't get the fluidity. You can't. You just can't. It's impossible, isn't it? There's been some fans saying that the reason why we've looked better in the last few games is because Pogba's not in there.
Better though. What's better? Like what the Arsenal game where man got slapped really. And
they're saying we look better in terms of the movement in our midfield and
these men are idiots because Fellaini and Matic can't move at all. They got no legs. So what are they basing this on? These men are basing it on the fact that a lot of these fans, like they just don't want to see Pogba do well. That's what it is. They enjoy chatting shit about him. They actually do, bruv. That's what I've noticed. They enjoy the bullshit. They actually enjoy it because if they got behind him the same way they get behind the shit players like McTominay and Matic that are actually shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Don't have good ability.
They actually don't have any ability. It would be different. Like, you know what I mean? If Pogba has a 7 out of 10, it's like, oh yeah, Pogba didn't play well today. Bruv, Matic has been throwing up 4s all season, blood. But you lot don't want to boo him. You know what I mean? What, does Matic press and run around more than Pogba? No, he doesn't, bruv. That guy don't move. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because he can't.
Because he can't move, bruv. He's static, bruv. Like, he's literally like towing a caravan in there and nobody says nothing. Matic gives the ball away. No one says nothing. Trust me, the agendas against certain man, same way Jose turned man on Pogba, he turned man on Martial as well. Now everyone loves Tony again because he's scoring goals. But you, man, were on his case only a few months ago. You see what I mean? This fickle fan base.
We've said the whole time, innit? The same energy doesn't seem to be there. Now, look, as much as I love Pogba as a player, fantastic. Look, he hasn't been playing well. Yeah. But I think, like what you're saying is the difference is he hasn't been playing well, but neither's Matic, neither's Fellaini. Do you know what I'm saying? Neither's Lingard's done okay, but I know he's got to go against Arsenal.
Lingard's coming back into form, but Lingard has been out of form for months.
The same energy.
And he's a player that I like.
Lukaku only got dropped up until recent.
Yeah, he had to go
forever.
14 hours without scoring to get dropped. And there wasn't that same energy. Everyone's like, nah, just get behind the lad, he'll come good and that. Where's the energy for Pogba? It's not there, bruv. Because Mourinho has spun you lot a web of lies and you lot are just bloody buying into it, bruv. It's pathetic.
Do you think seriously, do you think there's a chance he could leave in January?
No.
Pogba?
No. The club will come out and said categorically he's not for sale. You know what I mean? And I don't think...
But do you think, even if he's not for sale, do you think he might actually say, do you know what? I don't want this anymore.
Yeah,
I want to go.
If I was him, I would say that. If I was him, I'd say, yo, fuck this, I'm out of here. These lot don't deserve me, blood. They don't deserve Pogba. All them man that on Pogba's back, you don't deserve him, bruv. We're 6th in the league. Like, we're shit at the moment. You know what I mean? He can walk into any team in the world. That's a fact.
What
That's
about
not
the fans
my opinion.
who say we don't deserve to have a player who strolls around the pitch, doesn't put it in,
he doesn't stroll around the pitch,
hasn't produced the goods, hasn't scored,
but he
hasn't
has produced the goods. If it weren't for Pogba, we would have lost the fucking league to Man City, blood. At Man City. It was only because of his 2 goals, and his performance why we didn't. So you man saying, we play better without Pogba, What happened when we turned up to the fucking council house without him the other day and got shit on, blood? You know what I'm saying? You man are talking shit, bruv. There's an agenda, but this whole Pogba thing is disgusting, bruv. It makes me sick, like, honestly. You know what I mean? The same language, all the bullshit, the energy that they have for this man, they don't have for other man. One is one of my favourite players in terms of what he brings to the table, but he has 1 good game in 4 when he plays. When Matter starts for us, more often than not, he don't play well. He has a bigger impact coming from the bench. But because he writes nice blogs and that, and everyone thinks he's a nice guy, but man don't get on his case like that. But they want to get on Pogba's case and talk about haircuts and all that. Fuck all that. Do you know what I mean? Pogba's our best player outfield. It's not a debate, blood. Him and De Gea are the only 2 players in that team, that get into any 11 in the world. Any. Martial's very close, but there's certain teams you could argue that maybe, Martial's not there yet. Like, does he displace Mbappe or Neymar in that front three? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Cavani might get shifted. But, do you know what I mean? With Pogba, my man, Barca would take man tomorrow. Juve would take him tomorrow.
100%.
Real Madrid would take him tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you man are saying that there's even a conversation that maybe he shouldn't be in the team ahead of fucking Matic, blood, who wouldn't even get into flipping Man City's or Liverpool's midfield or flipping Chelsea. Bruv, you know what I mean? He wouldn't get back into Chelsea's midfield now. Do you know what I mean? Or flipping Fellaini, who wouldn't get into the midfield of any of the top 6 teams, blood. But you reckon that these men should start ahead of him? You man are fucking ridiculous, blood.
Because of effort. And like I said,
because of effort.
Mourinho, it's all good Jose saying like, he's not doing what I want him to do, so I'm going to turf him out of the team. Jose as the manager, it's his job to get the best out of players like Paul Pogba. And like I said on a Skype show, like, our club is made for players. The stage is there for players like Paul Pogba. So what? All of a sudden, our stage is for players who just try hard. Our stage is made for players flamboyant, flair, character, skill. Do you know what I'm saying? It feels like we're saying that, our stage is not that anymore. This theatre is not open for that kind of performance anymore. We're open for the guy who just runs.
Yeah, bruv. So
like you need a bit of it, but I'm not buying that.
So we just signed workhorses now.
There you go.
Like bag of workhorses ain't gonna win you a title. You need invention. You need creativity. We used to embrace these kind of players, and now man are getting on his case. Man are full of shit, bruv. Like there's nothing more I can say about that, because people like Cantona, like King Eric and that, bruv. He wasn't known for fucking charging up and down the pitch and doing that. No, he wasn't. He was the magician that made things happen, but Pogba's that guy for us. If you allow him to be that.
But he had people around him, because the team that Cantona played him, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think Jose's doing that.
Yeah, in a midfield with fucking Matic and Fellaini and see what happens. You'd be saying he's shit too, but actually you probably wouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Paul Scholes is more relatable to a lot of them, man. You know them ones there, they look at Pogba, they just don't understand, man. They can't relate to him. Do you know what I'm saying? But Pogba, like, it's all about styles. You don't like his style because he doesn't run around like a blue-ass fly. So now he's lazy. No, he's not lazy, bruv. He's just a different type of player. Just like Berbatov was a different type of striker. He's not going to run around like Rashford. But I tell you what,
they used to say Berbatov was lazy. A lot of people used to say
not lazy. He's just intelligent. The most intelligent footballers run the least, blood. You don't see man running around like arseholes for no reason, blood. They run at the right times, receive the ball in the right moments, do things in the right moments, blood. All the man that got put in all this industry is because they're probably out of position, they don't know where they're going to be, or that's what they bring to the table. Rashford's work rate's amazing, but it has to be that high, blood, because he lacks in so many other different departments, bro. Do you know what I mean? Martial don't run as much as Rashford, but you
look
give
at his output.
But look at his output. You give Martial the ball, yeah, and he puts the ball in the net more. Do you know what I mean? He needs less chances to score. Rashford will create loads of chances from his movement and then miss them. You see what I'm saying? So
you kind of fulfill other areas because of
It's just like Rooney. Rooney was a great team player. Do you know what I mean? And he was very selfless. Man were like, oh, when him and Tevez and Ronaldo played together, Rooney sacrificed himself for the team. He had to, because they were both better than him. Carlos Tevez, technically everything, bro. Shit somewhere in Rooney, bro. He was dribbling, holding the ball, rolling, man.
At that time, yeah, definitely.
Bruv, Tevez was dynamite. That was one of the biggest things that we should have never done. We should have never let that guy go, because he had the Rooney work rate, but then he would hold the ball and do some magic things, whipping free kicks in the bins and that. And then you got CR7. Of course, Rooney was third best, so he had to sacrifice himself and run and do the dirty work, because he knew his place, blood. He knew that he couldn't technically play ball with these men. He knew that, and he respected that. A lot of players, when they're not technically at that level, they need to make up the ground.
Yeah, you have to have a good work ethic then. You have to be selfless. You have to try and feed the players who are better than you and do your job to the best of your ability. And simplistically, that's what you have to do.
Well, there you go, bruv. And then you look at players like Kante and them man there, bruv. Kante knows his role in the team. Kante knows that he is the ball winner, and then he passes it to the man that can play football. You don't see Kante trying to do step overs and trying to beat man.
No.
Like, he knows.
Even though Sarri's now trying to get the play ball advanced.
But this is it. And you could tell he's just doing it, but he's not really thriving there, because that's not his game. He's a ball winner, innit? So I think that in football, there's different styles of players. You just have to embrace it, and there's certain players playing better in different systems around different people. You can't put Pogba in a midfield with two men with no legs and expect Pogba to just run the midfield.
Has he? Okay.
Pogba's never ran a midfield, blood. That's not what he does.
You know me. I always, double-sided, looking at the both sides. But has Pogba done enough when he has been playing? Do you think? Okay. Do you think that Pogba? Because you admit he's not playing well right now. Fair enough, he's not.
Well,
the team's not playing well. Can he hold his head high? Do you think, and say he's doing all he can to play better, convince Jose or whatever? I know we shouldn't have to convince Jose, because we can see it. But I'm saying, do you think he has done enough himself?
I don't know. You can't answer that question. What I do know is every time he's on the pitch, he gives 100%. Like, he's a very expressive player. Like, when he's not having a bad game and he's frustrated, you can see it. He throws his hands in the air and that, because he's frustrated. And a lot of the time he's frustrated at himself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll lose the ball and he'll be like, shit. Do you know what I mean? But then he still wants it again. Do you know what I'm saying? Pogba don't go hiding in games. Even when he's playing badly, he still wants it, bruv. That's the sign of an elite mentality, and that's the sign of an elite player that wants to turn things around. Pogba don't hide in games. Lukaku hides in games. When my man's had a few bad touches and that, you see the ball just going past him. He's missing. Pogba don't go missing in games, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So that's my main thing. If all of a sudden he didn't want the ball and stuff like that, and he started to shrink, then I'd be like, you know what? Like, he's hiding. That guy don't hide, innit? So I'm not trying to hear that. Like, I think that the manager, the way he's played, man, has set him up to fail, and he's not the only one. A lot of men have been set up to fail in this Jose system, bruv. There's a lot of players that he puts them in, they don't have a good game, and he goes, "Told you so."
He throws a lot of players under the bus.
He does
to
it,
prove any point.
To prove a point, bruv. Like, I think Pogba's been set up to fail, bruv. He's had to wait 3 years, and still, why are you going to spend 90 million on your man, yeah, your franchise player, and you do not play to the strengths of that player and build a team around that player? That's stupid not to do that, bruv. He's an attacking player. He's not a bloody defensive midfielder. He's not a ball-winning midfielder. He's not that guy, bro.
And this is where it goes back. It's Jose's job. I feel like Jose is trying to neglect his responsibility as a manager of a top club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the. He's trying to neglect his responsibility to get the best out of attacking players and get the talent out of players like Pogba and give them the platform.
I can't remember, like, someone said it on your fan cam, bruv, like, man's got Ferrari blood, but he's a bus driver,
yeah, how tight,
you know what I mean? That was wavy. That analogy is perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what he is. He's a bus driver with a Ferrari, keys to a Ferrari. You don't know what to do with it, blood. Give it to someone else, because Pogba is a Ferrari.
Okay, enough about Pogba now, Rants. Yeah. Rant over.
No, it pisses me off, blood, because man like to stick it on Pogba, and he's our best player, bruv. If I was him, I'll bounce, and I wouldn't even feel bad, because you'll go Barca, you'll win a Ballon d'Or, and you'll win a Champions League, and to add it to your World Cup team.
He will step up. I do think we'll see a lot of custard pie, 100%.
Man need to humble themselves and realise that we're sick for a reason, blood.
Yeah, and it isn't because of Paul Pogba. Was it Paul Pogba's fault when Mourinho was picking McTominay at flipping centre half? Is it his fault that he's putting Fellaini next to him? Is it his fault that he's playing Lukaku every single? Those things are not Paul Pogba's fault.
But this is it.
You know what I mean? Anyway, we're going to go to the Twitter section. You know, we've been taking free tweets every show. Thank you guys. You know, we might even need to start doing more than free tweets. There's been so many that have been coming in. Yeah. But for today, we'll keep it to free. Kieran Phillips at Laidback1992 says, if United got top 4 and a trophy, how do you think the board would respond? Bearing in mind he still has a job now after our worst start to a season in, well, he says decades, well, yeah, 28 years.
Yeah, it is, yeah. This is it. Spot on. I think he's gone anyway, bro. I don't think he wants to be here longer than this season because he knows that he can't turn it around. He knows, innit? Like, how can his third season be his worst by far? Like, it's not, you can't turn it around now. It's too far gone. So I think he knows he's done out here. So I think he just wants that payoff. And the reason why they haven't sacked him is because they don't want to give him the money. So I think that they're at a standoff now where he's trying to get sacked and yeah, he's just testing their resolve, basically. But he's gone. Even if, say, we got a trophy on top 4, which I don't think we'll get either.
You still think he's gone?
I still think he's gone, bruv. I think he can't take the club any further, bruv. He is...
We haven't made the progress with it. And if we did win it, it wouldn't be, like you said, it would just be because we had a good run in FA Cup or the Carling Cup or whatever. So, yeah. Carl Ferguson, hold tight, Carl, my guy. Which out of the 3 players... I like this question. Which out of the 3 players has a bigger chance of leaving? De Gea, Martial or Pogba? That's a very good question.
Martial, bruv. I say Martial because Pogba commercially is worth too much money to the club, so Woodward would not part with him. And De Gea because I don't think De Gea's got anywhere to go because Courtois has gone to Real Madrid.
Juventus.
Really?
You think it's not a sideways step because they are better than us, but...
No, but I'm saying, bruv, who's their keeper now?
Chesney, bruv.
Oh, yeah, true. They could go to... Yeah, you're right. He could go to Juventus, but my thing is, David wanted to go home to Spain. If the move to Spain's not on, I reckon he'll stay where he is. I think he just wants the money. I think he wants to be the best player or one of the best paid players at the club, and he should be. So if he wants 300 grand, give it to him.
I hear your point about the Pogba thing, about him being a commercial, but I just... With Jose just continually making a point out of him, I think he could get to the point where Pogba himself, I know Woodward, I know the club won't want to sell him, but I think he'll get to the point where Pogba goes,
I don't think he can force a move. I don't think he can because if Ed says you're not going,
that's it.
Then you're not going, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, I don't think he wants to go that badly. He just doesn't want to play for Jose. His friends are here. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's very, like, this is a whole...
I think if we get a managerial change, I think that shift will change. But I don't know. There's a feeling in me with that question. I feel like it's more Pogba. I know that Jose's going. Because I know Jose's going at the end of the season. I know Pogba's not going, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, fair enough.
So I say Martial, but I think if Jose leaves, everyone signs new deals.
Okay. Next question. Thank you, Kyle, for that one. Dan Woodcock, Woody2K8, says, with our current squad, name your best 11, form out the window, pick the best 11 and formation you would play as manager. So forget the form.
Yeah, cool.
Who would you go? Back to front.
Because I was talking about this yesterday. So cool. Like, it depends, innit? Like, it depends on who we're playing. So at home, I'll play 2 in midfield. Away from home, I play 3 in midfield. I'll definitely go for 5 at the back because we don't have a strong enough defence. Jose is stupid. Like, man's complaining.
The 5 at the back, or would it be the 3? Like a 3-5?
Yeah, 2 wing backs.
Okay, cool.
So I say 5, but it wouldn't be 3. It wouldn't be 5 when I'm playing it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm playing 3 centre backs, and everyone else is attacking. My fullbacks will get back if they feel like it, blood. You know what I'm saying? I'm overloading, cuz in both halves. Do you know what I'm saying?
We need to do a football team.
I'm telling you, I'm overloading, B. Like, I'm telling you, man, I'll play my 3 centre backs. It has to be 3 centre backs. So, like, yeah, if you're taking form out the thing, I'm taking Lindelof. Yeah, it is. It's Rojo left, Rojo left, Bailly in the middle, Lindelof right, because right centre back is where Lindelof has played. Yeah. He plays for Sweden and he played at Benfica, the right side of the 3.
Fullbacks.
Delo right back.
I'm
gonna say Luke, right wing back. I'm gonna say Luke Shaw, even though I believe as a fullback, bruv, I don't know, man.
You're not sold on him,
I'm not sold on Luke Shaw, bruv. Like Ashley Young, like, bruv, he can cut in and cross, man. Luke Shaw can't cross, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know, but I'll play Luke Shaw there anyway, just for balance. Yeah. I'll play a midfield 2 of Fred and Pogba. Yeah. And I'll play a front 3 of Alexis down the middle, Tony on the left, Rashford on the right.
That sounds sick.
But away from home.
Yeah. Liverpool away.
Liverpool away. I'll take Rashford out, and I'll play Sanchez and Martial as a front 2, and I'll bring in Ander Herrera in midfield, just to kind of win the ball, just for the extra body. So I'll play the 3-5-2 instead of a 3-4-3. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'll play like that, and I'll just change the midfield depending on whether at home, man ain't playing 3 centre mids against no one. No. I'm smoking you, blood. Even if it's Man City, I'm playing 2 centre mids. Because if you play a high pressing game, with them front 3 pressing, you don't need a defensive midfielder, bro. Because Fred will buzz around, win the ball. Pogba will press in zones, and then you got the fullbacks that can cut in and press and pick up. And you got 3 centre halves, bro. Like, so if everyone's pressing high up the pitch, you don't need a DM that just sits there. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And that's what it is.
If away from your 3-5-2, because I think that's I like that. If we was gonna go, because I do like a 4-3-3, but with. So I would alternate, because you do need someone a bit defensive minded in there. So I would have.
Fred can do that though.
I would have Pogba, Fred, and Herrera.
Yeah, but that's what I would do. That's what I would do. But I would do that in the away games, though. I would do that in the away games, and instead of playing 3 up front, because we don't have wingers, so I don't believe in this 3 up front, really. Like,
we can play the narrow 3, like, you know that, where they're not actually across the pitch.
Because we got 4 strikers. I'm like, play Martial and Alexis up front in a 2. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Alexis will drop deeper probably and try and pick it up. And Martial can play on the shoulder. And then at home, we can play the 3. But the good thing about the 3 is we've got so many players. Even if we played Mata on the right-hand side, he'll drift in and play like a number 10 in behind 2 strikers, so it looks like a diamond. There's so many things that you can do with the Mata.
We could, even a 4-4-2 diamond.
Bro, you could do that with Mata at the top of the diamond, or Jesse at the top of the diamond. There's so many different...
Pogba on the left of it. Fred on the right.
There's so many different things we can
do,
but Jose gets his same dead system and tries to shoehorn man into it, bruv. We don't have that.
I don't get. When you look at it, like, I know you can't base it off this. When I do play a game of FIFA, I do play a game of FIFA, I just look at the formations that I do in the play, and I'm just like, why can't we experiment like this? Why can't we play these kind of formations? Jose, I know it's not as easy a transfer, but Jose just has zero faith.
It's not that he's got zero faith, he's got no creativity. Do you know what I mean? Man say he's got no faith, but you know what? If he was a better coach, these players would look better, because these players are not shit, bro. I tell people, 1 to 25, we've got some mad depth, bro. Like, man laugh at Darmian and that, but Darmian looked good under LVG.
Yeah, he did.
I saw him mark Raheem Sterling out the game when England played Italy, and I'll tell you what, Matteo Darmian's an international fullback. Like, we've got him sitting on the bench. Marcus Rojo's an international fullback, blood. Alexis Sánchez is an international. Like, Valencia's an international. All these guys coming off the bench as squad players are better than what a lot of teams have starting. Do you know what I mean? So our squad ain't that weak. Like, he's lowered the expectations and he sucked you lot all in to make you believe that we got so shit players, bruv. But the reality is, it's his coaching, blood, and his lack of imagination.
You heard it there, man. That's all the Man United topics covered for today. I do want to touch on one last thing before we go.
And I got the 2-2 Arsenal result right.
You did actually, innit?
Yes, I did, blood, but I don't gamble, so...
Yeah, you need to start.
One of them ones, Nah.
Mugs game. Not on it. Before we go, last topic of today. Obviously, it is a Manchester United channel. We don't want to do too much on other clubs and other players, but on the Raheem Sterling situation, obviously he was racially abused at Chelsea. You can clearly see what they're saying.
At the bridge, you know what I mean?
You know, but more importantly, he's come out and spoke about it. And you know, if you want to link it back to some of our players and you know, about agendas and things like that, do you think there's an agenda in the media of the portrayal of black players compared to white players?
Yeah, of course. But come on, bruv. Like, man are all seen it, bruv. Even when you look at how Pogba's treated, it's banter compared to someone like Jack Wilshere, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's talking about Pogba, and like, Pogba's not failing drugs tests. Like, Pogba's not out for the whole season, still picking up his money, getting pictured out smoking and raving and all these things. Pogba's not doing any of these things. The man is still on his case, fam. I'm telling you, like, them man pick and choose, yeah, who they want to aim this bullshit at. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, man. Like, it's never really gonna change. Like, not for the foreseeable, man. It happens.
It can't exactly. I mean, I done a thing on BBC Radio 5 Live, and I got to speak to John Barnes, and he was saying himself, like, he himself is John Barnes, so he might not see it face to face. He doesn't get a lot of it anymore. He's been there, dealt with it, but he's concerned about the average guy on the street, you know, who has to go through this. And look, it's not about playing the race card. It's about saying what is out there and what is in front of us. And you know, for someone to feel that comfortable in the front row of a Premier League match to say those kind of things shows me not only is he ill-educated and obviously racist, but he doesn't care about the sanctions. Yeah, like, he doesn't feel like anything's gonna. He feels comfortable to say that.
There's no ramifications, blood. That's why, innit? Like, when I hear some of the rhetoric and that in the stands, bruv, like, even when I'm there, like, we've been there, bruv. I've seen Pogba getting booed and whistled and all of this and saying what they're saying, bruv. I'm telling you.
There's undertones to it.
Yeah, and it's their own player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all there. Let's back him to the end, bruv. Like, the same way, like. Do you know what I mean? The same adoration that them man had for, like, the Tom Cleverleys and that weren't even half the players that Pogba is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the love? Like, there ain't no love there, bro. Like, it's different. They treat him different. Same with Fletcher. When Fletcher came through at United, it took him 2 years to be a half-decent player. When Darren Fletcher first broke through, I was like, this guy is shit.
Yeah.
Do you know
Maybe that's what's going to happen with McTominay. See, he's going to
No. Darren Fletcher, at least, was agile, like, and he kind of had an engine on him. McTominay's just stiff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fletcher could get about the pitch.
Fletcher could get
like a Scottish Herrera.
Exactly.
Like,
he could get about the pitch. McTominay ain't going nowhere, bro. He looks like he's just tugging a parachute along. Do you know what I mean? But, like, they were patient with Fletcher. Do you know what I mean? They're patient with all these guys. They ain't patient with Pogba like that. Now, he'll give us 4 good games, and the minute he has a bad game, they're on his case, bro. And I know why that is. Do you know what I'm saying? A man can deny it all they want and say, yeah, but he's lazy and that. But his stats show that he covers more ground than these man, so he's not lazy. You just don't like him because you can't relate to him, because he don't look like you. He don't live like you. His lifestyle's different. His culture's different. You don't understand him, so you don't like him.
I do think, look, you know, so you guys at home are not getting this misconstrued. This, you know, this is a minority of fans. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about
the majority of the people that are going to be watching.
And it is okay to criticise Paul Pogba for his performances. I don't want to get this into the 2 black guys are kind of just saying.
You're allowed to say, yo, Pogba had a shit game. Yeah, of course you are, but I can see it. Exactly. You know what I mean? I can say, oh, you know what, Martial didn't play well today. But when you're like, yeah, man's lazy and it's because he dances too much and because of his haircuts. No one, every time fucking Beckham hit the wall with a free kick, it wasn't because he had too much hair gel in.
He was partying with the Spice Girls.
Or he was out partying with the Spice Girls.
Had tattoos.
Because he had too many tattoos or the jewelry, yeah. They used that rhetoric for fucking Pogba, yeah, but they didn't use it for Beckham. When Freddie Ljungberg was taking pictures in his fucking underwear, yeah, and dyeing his hair red, when he had a bad game, people weren't saying, it's because of his fucking Daft Barnett. No one was saying that.
And this goes back to what Sterling means by the portrayal of the media and just the tone that they put things in. I think it feeds the racial narrative, the narrative around it.
And it allows people to behave aggressively towards these people because they feel it's acceptable. Do you know what I mean?
That's the key there. They feel it's acceptable.
They deem it acceptable, and they do that with the portrayal of the Pogbas and the Martials about being lazy and Martial sulking just because he don't walk around smiling.
Even Lingard gets a bit of it because he's out dancing all the time and wearing different things, and you know. Again, I do think there's a bit of a cultural thing. You know, you do have a lot of fans who are in a different age, and That's not an
It's
excuse.
cultural ignorance.
It's not an excuse because, you know, Mark won't mind me saying Mark is of a different age.
Yeah, different
But he can.
era.
He says, you know what, the social media thing's not really for me.
You don't
but he
like
won't
it, but you
criticize someone
understand
because
it,
they do that. He criticizes them basically on their performances. Look, we don't want to go too much into it, but we had to have our say. It's something that we have strong opinions on, not just because we're black, but because we have opinions on that. But listen, come to the end of the show. Thank you guys for watching. We're fast approaching the Christmas period where the games are going to come thick and fast, and so thanks for watching. Rants, the socials.
Yep, at Rants and Bants on Twitter and the same on Insta, guys. And yeah, you follow the YouTube as well, boy. That's going to be active again.
That's it. I'm Flex UTD on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Just before you go, prediction for the Liverpool score. What's it going to be?
Bruv.
Come on, you always get it right.
I do, but if I predict it and you get it right, then man, I'm going to say, man, jinxed it and that. But I don't know, bruv. I'm just going to be optimistic and say we're going to go there and stink out the place, bruv, and get like a 1-1.
I would say a draw as well. That was going to be my prediction.
But if we get piped...
It's like, do you know what it is? I just hate going on camera and say, yeah, I think we're going to lose. I'm going to lose 2-1. I just refuse to do it. I'm sorry. I just refuse to do it.
Liverpool and their bums can go at any minute.
Exactly.
That's
Do
why.
they truly? This is their the
they
pressure.
believe
They've got
that
a pressure. They've got pressure on them. It's the first time that they've been winning in the title race.
And they're expected to beat Man.
Exactly. So, and we are their bogey team. I've been speaking to a lot of Liverpool fans. We've got some previews coming up with Drifty from the Football Banter Show. Check that out with Mark. But you know, they are very cautious as well because it's us, and we're capable of stinking the place out. And this is still Jose Mourinho. Guys, thanks for watching. See you guys same time, same place next week.